Hello and welcome back to This or That with Kobe and Jats. Another week, baby. We're in the middle of it right now. We got some spice. There's some current drama. Sven was typing. Dude. Jan was typing. Let's get some slides.
There was Twitter apologies and banter and people trying to instigate.
You like how quick those apologies start to come out now?
It's a little quick. It's a little quick. Okay, what was more tragic, though? This Baron for Nexus front door trade or the cast for your team cursed. Courage comes in, 100 Thieves lose. Whipple goes in, TL is actually 0-3.
Both of them had to cast their teams losing, but I thought both of them took it like champs, okay?
Yeah.
So I don't think that was actually that tragic when your team lost the regular season game. This is tragic.
Yeah, you scale your butt off for like 40 minutes. You get 6-item Jinx, 6-item Azir, and then you say, Bjergsen, why don't you just defend?
They were so patient. They did all the work to get back into the game, and then boom, Baron for Nexus. That is the most feels bad because everyone's gonna make fun of you afterwards.
There's some joke in there about like Bjergsen is used to 1v warding, but it's nothing worked. They lost. Second slide, more Player of the Week statues. If Prince weren't on FlyQuest, would be Spica or Vikla.
Spica for me. Spica for me, there are so many ones.
Said he wants Vikla to get the next one.
Yeah, he said he wants him to get the next one because he wants him to have more confidence, because he wants him to dominate more. He had a good one today with the Yone. That's just deserved. But Spica does so much that is not, you know, rewarded because it's not, oh, he's pentakilling, because he's on freaking Maokai Sejuani. He tanks every single game. He's controlling so much of it, though. I would for sure Spica.
It sounds like you are a biased.
It sounds like I am a biased jungler. Yeah. That's because I am.
Yeah, so I agree, actually.
That's true.
So I just wanted to call you biased. Slide number 3.
I got this one. You just calm down here. My show. Which squad super week was more encouraging? TSM or CLG? Damn, we should have done this slide yesterday.
Well, what's your opinion?
If we should have yesterday, I'd be like, freaking CLG. But now, it has to be TSM.
Yeah.
They're the only team to beat FlyQuest in the whole league.
I mean, yes, but like, I actually like that CLG recommitted to their style. Even the game they had today, I thought they were competitive. I like the back-to-back Aurelia games.
Did you like how pissed Dokla was at the end of the loss?
Yeah, I love that, actually.
Yeah,
I love that their expectations are there. We got Solo up here. It's still nice that they can chest thump a little bit. Be like, yeah, we just want to beat the teams we're here to beat. Like, they're keeping the expectations low. They like CLG has set their expectations really high. I'm going that.
Yeah, I kind of like it too. Dokla was like, I should have carried my bad. Like, they really wanted that
Both
3-0.
good, though.
Very good.
Week 1 and week 4, good. 2, 3, bad.
I would say CLG needed it more. CLG needed that fire back because they were on a 4-game loss streak. So
I thought they were going to be 2-7. Their schedule was hard.
Certainly was. All right, your turn. Boom.
This or that. TL Honda finishes top 3.
Remember,
what's more likely to happen?
Slide.
Or TL Honda finishes bottom.
Shout him out. Shout him out.
From Cameron Stone, from YouTube, I mean, they just lost all 3 games. And they were actually up against both EG and C9, but they were down when it mattered, and they're still down.
I'm saying those TL stocks, sell. That shit is dropping.
It's already low, but I think they're gonna finish bottom 3. It's the more likely. I think they're gonna finish like 7th.
Yeah, because you know what? There's no way I'm picking that slide.
No, with these teams, 7-2, 7-2, 9-0 versus 3-7?
There's 0% chance I pick that slide.
Yeah,
so
I mean, like, okay, they're gonna finish above Dignitas, 09, Immortals 2. They're like, yeah, it's definitely that.
Yeah.
Next slide. I heard we had 6. Spicier broadcast moment. I'm remembering this. Flood on tea time. That was pretty good.
I thought this was him showing off his hickey. Look at this. This picture is.
Yeah, I mean, she grilled him about the snake bite and tenacity, the Valentine snake bite. That was actually one of the spiciest broadcast moments we have. But this was like so out of left field. Like, he was angry.
This is pretty funny, too, because...
Context.
Yeah, exactly. The context is, of course, there was in-game banter that we actually got full context. First trash talk was Diplex typing XDD, and then...
First one, when did Diplex do that?
It was after the first kill mid lane, kill mid lane or whatever.
Took a plate.
Then Jan, after they kill Sven on bottom lane, says our academy team is better. Then Sven at the end of the game says back to academy because they won.
Yeah, and then during the
when it gets real,
don't you dare talk in the game again.
When it gets real, the not doing the handshake thing, I think that's where you lose because that's where you show that you care too much and you're actually triggered. Before that, you're all but as soon as you show like, oh, you're actually salty. then...
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say that, but I also just want to say I love that stuff like this can happen.
Yes.
I appreciate that they're actually like cool with it. They both like apologize and need to apologize. But part of me wishes that they had like huge beef for because it would just be more entertaining. Anyway, we have one more.
So you're a drama monger. Everybody
is. Drama slide number 6. Bottom slide of this or that. I don't know if it's a drama slide. What jungler will visit bot first in game 5?
I'm gonna go River. I like that the producers put River on Jarvan. Great jungler for ganking early. That's a level 2 gank, baby. Vi's not gonna level 2 gank, so that's my money.
Closer will visit bot when everyone is level 3 or 4 and they've stacked a big wave and he's on 100 Thieves again and they're gonna dive. River is there immediately. I agree with you. He just like starts red and goes bot. Closer doesn't do that.
Closer's been going mid a lot.
Yeah.
Got that Bjergsen lead.
This game is happening right now. I thought it was like game 5 of playoff series.
That's the whole point, Chad.
I understand that. That's a wrap for this or that. Send us your suggestions in the YouTube comments because our producers don't have creativity and they need your help. So that's it.
Yeah.
This was good.
Nailed it. Good job. Yeah, this was good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Verizon. Have a good game 5. Coming up.
Thanks, Colby. I'm not Verizon, but I will have a good game 5. We've got Cubby back here with me, too. It's going to be a good game 5, ain't it?
Honestly, I was surprised, like, coming into the week that the stakes for this game would be as high as they are to wrap up our Super Week and wrap up our first round robin.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And let me tell you guys, it's story time. I hit up Inero, and I asked him, I said, hey, man, do you have any spicy quotes for today's Golden Guardians match that I am casting? I put that in all caps so he would know it was important. And then he said, hold on, I'll hit you up when I'm at the office. 20 minutes later, he sends me the YouTube video they made where they just say, you over and over again.
Oh, nice.
So he wanted to make sure I understood that message. And then he gave me the real advice, which was, now that I'm no longer coaching, it's possible that Zilean gets banned, so I don't really know how they can win draft if it's not drafting versus me. That's his analysis on how things are going to shake out here in the draft. So let's see. Golden Guardians have banned out Karma and Ashe first. Do we get the Zilean ban in the first half? Will it be relegated in the second half? It's Silas and Akali banned out by the Thieves.
I can't even talk now. I just have to wait for the Zilean ban.
I'm really curious if we're going to get this.
This is the most important part of draft. Do we ban Zilean here? And is Inero a man of his word?
Is Inero the prophet? Well, now remember, it can also still happen in second half.
Okay,
maybe.
okay.
Like they're still, he didn't specify which part of the draft it would be banned in. They're definitely taking their time thinking about it. No, the Zeri instead. They want to keep that away from Doublelift.
Well, you know, appropriate that we're going to have to wait to see if the Time Lord enters the draft.
Right, yeah. Time and time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I brought the bad jokes for you, though.
No. I respect it. I respect it. We've got, but we do have the Elise banned away, the final first half ban here from 100 Thieves. Plenty of powerful stuff left to pick. We're not going to get Maokai first pick blue side. This time around, it'll be Caitlyn picked up.
And I got to say, for Golden Guardians, I mean, this team, they're on a 4-game hot streak. But the wins they've had, CLG, IMT, TSN, that win looks pretty, a little bit better now, and then Dignitas. I feel like 100 Thieves, you know, where the community had a lot of these teams earlier in the season, this would be their biggest win to wrap up the first round robin on a 5-game hot streak, the longest win streak that we have in LCS. Well, 100 Thieves, they're on a slide.
Yeah, I mean, 4-4 Golden Guardians versus 4-4 100 Thieves. That's, I don't think, if you looked at the LCS schedule back, you know, week 1, day 1, and you saw these two teams as the final match of the first round robin, I don't think you'd look at that and say, yeah, they'll be even. They'll be tied. This will break the tie.
No, and it's been a real pleasant surprise again, and I feel like the strength of Golden Guardians, it's been that bot side. Stixxay and huhi, like, really surprising on stage. I know from talking with some of the teams that they've been doing really well in scrims, too. And going up against Doublelift Busio, kind of a fun story given that Busio taking the spot of huhi on 100 Thieves this year. And also, if we go way back in time for when Doublelift left CLG, that's where Stixxay stepped on it.
So we got the Lucian and that Maokai. The Golden Guardians did not choose to go for first pick. That goes over to 100 Thieves. Caitlyn Lux, I would not be surprised even a little bit to see this be the choice. These two champions love to work together. Does mean that we're probably going to see that Nami on pick 3 for 100 Thieves to guarantee that they have their wombo combo with their bottom lane marksman and support as well. I mean, hey, Vi, she's up. They haven't banned her or picked her. It's First half of the draft. Welcome to season 13. Here we go.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was kind of happy it was on 13-3 because I felt like, you know, if it was 13-1, I could like predict the draft and like I'd still feel kind of five-headed. That was like, you know, elementary knowledge.
Yeah.
No changes here though on 13-3 as we are expecting Nami for Busio. But for me, Busio, this is a player I've been covering now for 2 years. He was our most valuable prospect from Academy last year. This kid, for me, like I did his very first interview when he entered 100 Next, and I was pinged immediately after by Papa Smithy, who set it up, and he was like, so what'd you think? Because he knew I would be just blown out of the water by this guy. Like at 16, it was like talking to a peer. And his maturity, his ability to grow so quickly, a year in 100 Next, a year in 100 Academy, and now his first year here, I'm really excited to see where this kid can go. He has a mechanical ceiling to be a great player. Doublelift believes he can be a great player, someone who, and you know, just casually the GOAT of NA too.
Yeah.
I really want to see where this guy can go, and really excited to see him here on the LCS stage, wrapping up his first round robin.
I'm always impressed by these young players, these rookies, these new kids, and how like put together a lot of them are. They got a good head on their shoulders. They think about more than just the game. Like they're making sure that they're approaching everything holistically. I think back to myself at that age, and I'm just like, man, that guy was a loser. Like there's no way he could have done this.
Yeah, I was stuck playing like Mario Party in the basement, and this guy's you know up here playing on stage.
Yeah, a little bit of a difference between those things. Hey, second half of the draft, you called it. All we needed was a little bit of time to pass, and the Zillion gets banned away. Golden Guardians keeping that one away from Bjergsen, as Talia and Azir are banned out by 100 Thieves. 3 out of 3 mid lane focus in the second half of the draft for bans.
I am pretty curious, actually, what Bjergsen's looking at, as, I mean, a lot of mid laners now have been taken off the board. 4 from 100 Thieves. I gotta say, you know, so far we've seen a new champ every game for Gori, and we might see that continue given the bans that we have in this one. I think that the priority of something like Orianna might go up a lot here, something that Bjergsen's been comfortable on in the past. We haven't seen it from him yet this split, but it looks pretty good for both teams, you know, being able to wombo with the bot lane and what's showing.
Alrighty, Fiora banned out, so what are we gonna blind here, 100 Thieves? Who goes into it with the possibility of being counterpicked? Lots of 100 Thieves fans with lots of 100 Thieves signs. Oh, it's mid lane Tristana for Bjergsen, all right.
Wow, being blinded here. So the Talia, Azir, those are a couple of the matchups that can actually get push against Tristana. But now with all these matchups off the board, I'm really curious what Gori's gonna go with, because Tristana is a pick.
Yeah!
Pick starter?
Side, wherever you are. Yeah! Okay. Sorry, I had to.
No, you know, I've watched LCS enough to know that, you know, you had to have your moment.
Yeah, okay, cool. I appreciate that.
All right, yeah, glad we're on the same page there. So it's going to be the Viktor. Of course, Viktor does scale, but Viktor will be shoved under his turret early, so 100 Thieves really switching things up. And for me, what this says is that they want to attack the Kate Lux lane, because if they aren't getting plates, they're going to be falling behind.
Yeah. And you can see there with the stats that popped up, Viktor doesn't have a huge pick rate. He actually has a 0%. I agree with you, crowd. That's boo-worthy. He has a 0% ban rate because generally you see him picked either as an answer to Azir or in Azir's absence. He's kind of Kmart Azir. And a lot of that comes down to the fact that he doesn't really have some of the playmaking options that Azir does.
Yeah.
He's not as safe as Azir is once he blows his flash.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if 100 Thieves are going to pressure that early and be able to continue to make Gori sweat in the mid lane on this scaling pick. Renekton, final pick of the draft for Golden Guardians and for Licorice. What is the answer for 100 Thieves?
All right, well, you know, Tenacity Ornn, a lot of memes from my time in Academy and Challengers from this one, but this is an adaptation that Tenacity has to make if he wants to play on the big stage. Yeah. He's a carry player, been known to be a carry player, but now playing the tank, something that I think Tenacity can pick up. It's a good matchup into Renekton, and will give 100 Thieves some more stability and engage as we get later into the game.
Well, let's do it. We got a ton of massive engage from the 100 Thieves squad. A Nami wave, a Maokai ulti, an Ornn, and then 2 marksmen to follow it up. The big thing is, most of the big damage on this squad is just those 2 marksmen. There's not an AP cannon here for them. Over on the other side, though, it's not as big of a deal when you consider Vi will not be a tank. She'll have a Black Cleaver and a Radiant Virtue, and the game will probably
Norway. Oh my god.
Norway.
Yeah, wow, what a trek.
That's
good for you.
Impressive. Hell yeah, dude. Awesome.
That. Sorry to derail you. I had to respect you overseas.
That's all good. No, see, my brain naturally, if I see something that's longer than 2 sentences, my brain's just like, too long, didn't read it.
No,
but
I mean,
I respect your dedication.
Shout out to the fans here bringing some awesome signs today.
Yeah, no, we've got a lot of good signage out in the audience today.
And a lot of people stayed for the last game, knowing how important it is. Both these teams 4-4. Again, Golden Guardians finishing 5-4. 100 Thieves finishing 4-5 would be another big surprise to wrap up the round robin if GG can find a win here.
Well, let's see what they can do. Golden Guardians have found some mojo recently. You said it, they are on a hot streak, and they would love to keep that sizzle going up here against 100 Thieves. Man, I gotta tell you, my eyes are locked on Bjergsen, on Tristana. This is not the kind of pick that comes to mind when a man thinks Bjergsen, right?
It's true, but I think it really says what 100 Thieves want to do, that is play with mid priority and then go attack this Kate Lux lane. Make sure they aren't getting ahead and make sure they are not getting plates. We'll see if 100 Thieves can do that successfully, because they do have a ton of engage to use on the Kate Lux. If this pick does get behind, they aren't able to snowball the game state forward. It could be very dire for Golden Guardians, so a lot of importance on their early game, and if they are able to get bot push, get this lane ahead.
Both of our junglers this time around going for the Aftershock option. I like this a lot on some of these champions that are going to be going like damage items first, Black Cleaver for the Vi, Demonic Embrace for the Maokai. It gives you a deceptive amount of tankiness when you engage if you're not used to having to deal with it.
We will have to see. Oh. That's like the counter curse.
Yeah, Doublelift he's buffing himself.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. And I know from, catching up with Busio before this game, kind of what you were going off of, like, this isn't a pick we aren't used to seeing from Bjergsen. But, Busio's thoughts, I said, hey, what would it mean for you to, take the win the game, like snap that long win streak for GG and kind of get yourself in the right mindset at the end of the round robin? He said, he's going to play Fearless. Tristana's a pick that's kind of playing Fearless to me, because you are playing to push, playing for mid-play. Now, we have a late invade. River already has to flash out, and 100 Thieves, they have a huge start to this game already.
They instantly,
heads up, though. Heads up.
Instantly choose to invade. The Golden Guardians instantly choose to fight back. But the red is secured by Closer. That means they have a level advantage on the jungler. They've got the lead in the 3v3. Fight, 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 fight.
I actually do really like what Closer did there. He walked with Busio Doublelift to make sure that they got back to lane.
Yeah.
And both bot lanes did miss the first 3 melees, so it's not like it's dire. Closer can take the Raptors, and with the changes to camp XP on this patch, Closer can actually do one of his camps and hit level 3 no matter what, because they gave camps 5 XP. So Closer off to a really good start. We saw a similar start earlier today in the FlyQuest game when they did this into Sejuani, and this really takes away options from the Vi, because you can see she's already having to recall. So River, really tough start to his game.
I love the fact that 100 Thieves went for it like that. I love the fact that they delayed it as long as possible in the way that they did. Nice, clever choice from them. Gives him off to a nice little lead.
And think of the win condition, too, for 100 Thieves. It's about this bot lane, getting Kate Lux behind. You just lost your bot camps to Closer, who is ahead. Kate Lux have had the seed priority. Doublelift and Busio are actually playing further up in this lane. That's not how GG wants this lane to go. And a lot of that was from the level 1 of Closer and 100 Thieves, so props to them on having a really nice early strategy.
I mean, Kate Lux's game plan, put them under their turret, shoot them as they try to farm. If you're back under your own turret, all of a sudden things are not looking the way they should. And Bjergsen just continuing to try to keep this wave forced up to that early pressure. We're expecting a lot of it out of him here in this game. Speaking of early pressure, obviously Renekton is expected to win his lane early on here, but Tenacity, I don't think he'll have a whole lot of worries about this. I've enjoyed his play so far here in the first few weeks. There's been a couple of whoopsie moments. There's been a couple of uncoordinated plays with the rest of the team, but he's also had a couple of real pop-off moments too.
And I like seeing that from the young players, right? I mean, you don't want them to play scared. You want them to play aggressive. So, as long as there's more good than bad, that's good for Tenacity, who, again, this isn't the style that he was known for in his time of Academy, now Challengers, but still, this is the part of his game that he's going to have to grow and adapt once to play at this level. And I expect him to be just fine in this Ornn versus Renekton matchup. I mean, if you can't play this matchup as a top laner, you should be playing at this level, right?
Right. It's one of those things that's just sort of like top lane 101.
If I can play it in Diamond 2 solo queue, these guys should be able to play just fine. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. We give it the Diamond 2 solo queue test. As huhi is about to get a lot of damage from D-Lift. It's first blood back up at 100 Thieves. Stixxay uses the 90 caliber net to catch up and make it even.
I will say the fact that Doublelift goes down means that Stixxay does get a little bit more experience, but love to see Doublelift and Busio playing forward early, but they're a little bit too forward. Having your marksman survive, that is important for GG. If Stixxay is able to get this wave in and have an okay reset, that could be an item advantage here for Golden Guardians.
Golden Guardians making sure that 100 Thieves can't get ahead of them that far early on here. You can see River just backed after trying to see if there was an opportunity to shadow anything topside as Licorice was getting the wave pushed in.
That's also something that I find really interesting about the start of this game, 400 Thieves. Like, River, you can't really gank an Ornn or a Tristana lane. So the fact that they took the bot options away and now they're returning with sums down.
And there's no flash, man. There's no way home except in a body bag. Doublelift's the one putting him there.
Love the setup again from Closer, and a lot of this is still off the level 1. The fact that 100 Thieves, the bot lane, they were able to play up, play aggressive, and now taking away summoner spells. Closer's able to answer. River has to show up just to help Stixxay get this wave in and get a reset, but Doublelift off the item advantage in the back. Closer is able to visit bot lane and get him even further ahead.
This feels great for 100 Thieves.
Oh,
nice
it's a
and early.
great start.
This is awesome. For River, this is the hell early game. You're stuck having to choose between lanes that feel bad to gank and lanes that are already ahead.
Yeah, Doublelift was even able to pull the creeps. I think he kept 4 alive. I didn't see the last melee, so he might have a freeze on Stixxay so the Caitlyn gets starved out even more. If he's able to stack up a slow push, then he was able to get a really good reset. But River, seeing him pull that wave, knows he has the bot priority to do this. Vi does it very quickly with the denting blows, so we will get a replay of the original 1v1 as Busio, nice bubble onto huhi. Again, huhi, the support of 100 Thieves last split. 100 Thieves sticking with Busio. Busio finding a nice bubble. Doublelift does go down. Decent trade, but still the summoners being burned. You know, no flash on the GG bot lane. They were able to rinse and repeat. This is a good play from Closer.
Closer just swaps around, swoops around, and makes it very, very simple. He flashes for huhi just to guarantee that they wouldn't be able to take him underneath the turret there with a twisted advance, and then it's easy to follow up the sapling in the brush just to make sure of it. I was informed during the replay that this is Bjergsen's first Tristana in his career. Wow. Not this year, not the past few years, ever. So lots of interesting things to see about how well he plays this. Right now, he's pretty much just even in farm with the Viktor. He has not been able to find any meaningful damage onto the turret itself either.
Viktor will get his CS in this matchup and will scale, but still you can see some of the consequences of the priority. And every time Bjergsen does shove in this wave, he's hovering bot side. He's threatening the Cait Lux lane even more with Closer, who's just wrapped up his clear on bot side too. So again, this lane that's supposed to be getting plates for Golden Guardians, getting priority, because of the draft, the execution from 100 Thieves early, they've been able to get nothing.
Bjergsen going to rotate into that enemy jungle because Closer, after taking the first red buff from the side of Golden Guardians, knows exactly when that second one is about to pop up. He knows to call some help over. I would assume they pass this off to Bjergsen if they can. Looks like they'll just give it to Closer instead as Bjergsen recognizes there's no contest for this, so he'll leave Closer to his own devices. Licorice happy to just proxy farm these waves now. He's not worried about Tenacity's Ornn. He's got a pretty solid lead here for himself, 75 compared to 59 in the farm department. River still just trying to catch up here in the jungle. Both junglers closing in on level 6, but not quite there yet.
And I do want to see how 100 Thieves play around this Rift Herald again, because they have bot lane priority, which means they should be able to get first reset if they want to go play towards the Rift. Of course, Tenacity is losing this matchup at the moment, but we do see Doublelift and Busio taking a base that is canceled now by huhi. But I still expect them, you know, that you have the mid priority. If you send your bot lane up towards this top side, you can't get Herald. And right now, River, he's stuck trying to make a play. He doesn't even have 6 yet, but he just got it off the wave.
Very important that he gets that off of that minion. But what can they get from it? Vault Breaker out. He goes all the way in with the flash. I don't even know if that was necessary, but they did it to guarantee it. Stixxay gets the kill credit. Golden Guardian's gonna tie up the score and nearly tie up the gold down here in bottom lane.
Good play from River again. This bot lane needs to be ahead because of the plays that had been made by 100 Thieves. They were missing summoner spells, and River finds a really nice punish. Love how he was able to leech the XP off the wave to hit 6. Really well played from him.
Now Closer's looking to get something in return back here in mid lane. Gori flash away. He throws the gravity well on top of himself. Closer takes the damage, and Bjergsen supplies the bullets. 100 Thieves get the mid lane kill.
Might be his first ever Trist game, but he had that one calculated out. And that's big, because again, 100 Thieves getting that first Herald. They rotated Busio up here already. You can see Cait Lux actually responding from GG, but because Gori went down, because he doesn't have TP, 100 Thieves, they are ahead of the play.
And Licorice up here in topside continues just applying that pressure. Top has been an island this game. We saw River walk up into the brush that one time and then just back. So Renekton's been able to do what he wants up here thus far. River now moving up to grab his second neutral objective of the game after securing the Drake earlier.
We might have a fight here. And honestly, with Closer having ult down, I actually like the fact that GG rotated everyone up here. 100 Thieves, they were on the play, but with Stixxay huhi showing mid, I don't think they want to fight, as we have Licorice preemptively ulting to get some Fury.
Yeah, he immediately decides he wants to be ready for the team fight. He goes into the middle of everybody. The Croc's in there, but where's the follow-up? The Rift Herald's gonna be taken down, secured by River and the Golden Guardians. Busio at 150 HP, still trying to get away. Ace in the hole! And Closer can't block it. Golden Guardians gets the objective and an extra little Nami cherry on top.
And I'm surprised that 100 Thieves took that fight, given the fact that Maokai ult was down. No Nature's Grasp takes away a lot of the power that you were talking about in draft in the river. And 100 Thieves, you know, they could have opted to give that and have Doublelift stay bot, get plates. Instead, they try to contest with less tools, and GG beats him out.
Doublelift having to disengage from bottom side as well, making sure that as they walk up into the river, he doesn't have to deal with a whole lot more. Bjergsen jumps in on Gori.
He's got another.
Gets the explosion, gets the reset of the jump. Bjergsen's just auto-attacking him to death. River comes in.
Oh no!
With one auto-attack between success and failure, River saves the life of his mid laner.
Oh, I think he canceled an auto in there, and also the Buster Shot was just coming off cooldown. So Gori able to find that, and again, Viktor does scale really nicely in this match, but in this game, Viktor gonna feel really good later. And 100 Thieves, it was a great start for them, but it's really been slowed down thanks to some good play from GG and a couple mistakes like that.
Golden Guardians are testing 100 Thieves here in the first 11 minutes of this game. Bjergsen had the blood in his eyes wanting that kill. It was so close. And those are the moments that can drastically change the flow of a game, especially this early on. Let's take another look at everything going all the way back to the Herald.
So River cancels the Call of the Forge God, and then Closer doesn't have access to Nature's Grasp. And Licorice, I mean, he's able to get everything out of Doublelift and actually get out. So not bad from Licorice, and the fact that 100 Thieves, again, they didn't have access to those ults. They had less tools for this fight and end up going down, losing the Herald, losing a couple members. Really well played by GG.
And you saw the Ram just run off into the top side river. Tenacity wasn't able to get the second hit there onto the ulti. Bjergsen re-engages onto Gori. He's like, I got my second jump. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Shoot him, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. Oh, no, I can't shoot him.
That shield, Gori saving him. I don't think the auto cancel mattered there. I think Bjergsen would have still went down and not gotten the kill, but man, Gori just able to squeeze out of there. Nice hover from River, who, again, that was a really tough start to the game for River. He's recovered nicely here in the back half, now getting bot ahead and now mid too.
Getting set behind at level 1 in the jungle is such a difficult situation to deal with. I've always got a lot of respect for the guys that can just keep cool and find a good way back in. Huhi, Huhi, hold on now, buddy. Hold on, okay, hold on. That was an Omelie Lux laser there. We gotta work, okay.
Unfortunately,
the walk goes back.
Unfortunately, it looked like some NACL gameplay there. It's a little bit of a bummer there from Huhi, but again, they can rinse and repeat once River, clears top to bottom again, but all of that was going on. I will say 100 Thieves, they were able to pick up the Dragon as a consolation prize.
Okay.
And I still think the game state for 100 Thieves, it's okay as, oh, really? We're gonna do him like this?
Okay, we're gonna do him dirty. Oh boy.
Oh, it's a bummer. That's too bad. Hui's had a nice split so far. If we, we don't think
all things considered, if we consider all things, particularly not the things we just saw, it's been pretty solid. It's been pretty good.
Yeah, we'll give him that, the tail of the tape.
Yeah.
As, moving on to other things here.
Yeah.
We do have Rift Herald drop mid. I like this, given how much priority that Bjergsen has had, giving Viktor more gold. We already talked about how well he scales into this game. Taking that turret away from Tristana, not bad either.
So, let me ask you this. It's a 1,200 gold lead for the Golden Guardians. What do you want to see him do here in the next, 5-10 minutes or so to guarantee that this massive engage, this AoE team fight with the two marksmen backing it up from 100 Thieves isn't able to get the better of?
Oh, heads up. They got to be careful here in River.
This is sort of exactly what I was talking about, what I was thinking about, and Huhi's gone. No flash after the last play that failed. Means 100 Thieves is ready to capitalize.
Nice bubble from Busio coming out as he gets the flashless Huhi and takes him down. And Doublelift, another milestone for him as I gotta say, for GG, it's still gonna be playing around this Kate Lux lane. The fact that 100 Thieves are not able to break that again. Now Stixxay, he's caught, maybe.
No, Maokai doesn't have the range to get on top of him, I don't think. I mean, Stixxay still having both summoner spells. It's very dangerous to try to dive in there with a Twisted Advance or something, so.
Oh, he's wrapping around again.
Closer can't do it there. Maybe he can do it here.
Hui's not back to lane yet. Closer does have that Nature's Grasp if they want to think about it, but no ults for the bot lane 100 Thieves. He's just going to make sure they're able to get that in and get a reset off.
Yeah, Minion Wave just crashes into the turret, no big deal. There is that ward, seeing that Doublelift and Busio are still waiting around, so I expect Huhi and Stixxay to both know that it's more than just those two. There's no reason they're just sticking around by themselves. Yeah, now they see Tenacity, and they're like, okay, what the hell is this? Just shoot him with the laser. Let them know that you're aware of what's going on. And 100 Thieves, now that they know, the Golden Guardians knows that they know, the Golden Guardians knows, they're just going to shove it up. get this wave crash into the turret there. Doublelift ends up accidentally tanking turret aggro for 2 shots. Down to about 60% HP from it.
And
Golden Guardians hold the line.
While that's going on, Licorice just gets a freebie top, right? First turret going over to GG and Licorice, so
big deal.
More gold onto the Renekton, who of course rushed that Black Cleaver, will be able to get through the Ornn, or at least help. I will say, I'm curious. I really want to see if Closer goes for the Leandries this game, or if he goes for the Radiant Virtue, because I think he's the only magic damage. The poke could be rather deadly against a team that will stack a little bit of health and has no healing. Being the only source of magic damage, going to be curious to see if that actually is going to be the option here for Closer.
But again, even if he is the only source of magic damage, you can look at the inventories of the 2 frontliners of Golden Guardians. Black Cleavers on both. Wow. Usually it's going to be Radiant Virtue on Vi or something similar. So these guys shouldn't be able to stack armor and be the kind of massive wall that a Scion or like the Ornn of Tenacity could be if things were switched around. We do have Leandries online for the Viktor, Gale Force online for the Caitlyn, and Lucian both. Still no mythic item for Bjergsen here just yet on the mid lane Tristana, despite the farm advantage he has over the Viktor. 3rd Drake of the game, first Hex Tech Drake on the Hex Tech map, about to spawn here in 45 seconds. 2nd Rift Herald is already up. Remember, it was Golden Guardians that managed to get the fight and secure that eyeball along with a kill onto Busio last time for the 1st Herald. We'll see if they can do it again here, because right now it's 100 Thieves starting it up.
It's looking like a trade on the map as GG is actually hovering towards this bot side. Licorice going to get some work done on this turret, and Golden Guardians going to prioritize stacking those dragons.
Golden Guardians happy to just trade that off. 100 Thieves, more manpower here in the top side river. Golden Guardians recognizing that, hey, maybe it's not worth risking this. They're 2,000 gold ahead. But Licorice will keep proxy farming. Stixxay continuing to push up the mid lane. Meanwhile, they're rotating a couple of extra bodies over to this bottom side.
I like this from GG. They're pressuring 2 turrets and the dragon for seeding that Rift Herald. You want to stack up dragons with this Kate Lux. They're able to take the bot turret too, because Tenacity, that whole side of the map was fogged for him. So we're going to have a little bit of a race here. See if 100 Thieves can get that Herald to double crash. But that's Doublelift and Busio rotate up. I think that Herald's only going to get 1.
Yeah, Gori's already here, ready to answer against this one. Bjergsen's going to keep on shoving up.
Maybe.
Seeing if maybe they can just hard force this in here. Closer's still hanging around too, near that enemy blue buff. But doesn't look like 100 Thieves wants to force anything too hard here. Gori's just going to grab the eyeball, no second charge. Nothing to it.
Well done by GG again. I think they're manufacturing some good things on the map for them. And it's curious because, the Kate does have 3 kills, but items-wise, still kind of even with Doublelift, who did opt for the PTA, a little bit more lane-focused this game. I think that they're just kind of waiting on Viktor scaling now. I think that's going to be the interesting part here for GG, and see if Viktor can really break the comp of 100 Thieves.
Armor so far for the Ornn of Tenacity, so he'll be mostly immune to everybody's damage except that Viktor if he continues along this path. Of course, Sunfire Cape done, Bramble Vest in the inventory, very effective against some of the healing that can be done by champions like that Renekton. Now Golden Guardian still has the bottom lane as well as their jungler defending here in mid. Yeah, just trading pot shots back and forth with Doublelift a little bit. Still about a 2,000 gold lead. Lux Laser nicely used there just to delay Closers back a little bit, keep these guys a little bit more uncoordinated, I should say, than they would like to be.
We are at a bit of a dead zone of the game, and I will say, I think that 400 Thieves, we talked a lot about the Viktor scaling, some of the team fight that we have. There is a way for 100 Thieves to pressure sides with Bjergsen, right? This Kraken Slayer Tristana, if you do send the Maokai to a side lane to try and support, maybe, that's magic damage and physical damage. That might be a way that 100 Thieves can make plays while objectives are down, kind of playing through this Trist too. If given gank assist, I mean, she's going to be able to rip through people, looking like the IE build, I hope, for Bjergsen.
Ripping through people and turrets alike.
Yeah.
Remember, when you're running that Resolve secondary on the Tristana, you're going to have the Demolish. That, combined with the E being one of the few spells in the game that can actually affect turrets, means that if Bjergsen gets some alone time with one of these structures, there won't be a structure for too much longer. Now, can River get anything here?
They're sniffing.
Nope, they're going to fire the Scryer's Trinket there into the brush.
Oh,
but nice follow-up coming out from Golden Guardian. Not nice enough. Doublelift barely lives, but Licorice goes in, seeing if they can grab one on Busio instead. 100 Thieves. They have the damage to get the kill onto River. The difference there is River didn't have the Vault Breaker that had just expired.
Good call, and I gotta say, for GG, they do drop a person, but they still get mid-outer, and Doublelift did have to burn both sums. So it is some gold going over to 100 Thieves, but I want to see now if River and Golden Guardians can rinse and repeat and punish the fact that Doublelift will be down those summoner spells.
2-1-2 on the Lucian here for the NA GOAT. Bjergsen sitting on 2-1-0 for his Tristana. Still 2,000 gold lead for Golden Guardians. So 100 Thieves have stopped the bleeding, but they haven't been able to recover any of the deficit thus far. Just about 20 minutes into the game. Baron will be spawning here in a second, but without any major leads for either side, I don't really see anybody trying to rush that down anytime soon.
You can see, though, how Bjergsen, he's playing the strong side out of the two, right? They're just leaving Tenacity on his own sum against Renekton. Doesn't really matter. I like the fact that Flows are consistently hovering Bjergsen, making sure that he can get pushed, and making sure that Gori, he's still getting his farm, but he's catching waves, right? That will open up windows for 100 Thieves to make plays, and they have utilized some of that priority to take control over this topside river now that Baron's spawned.
And Jack Show completed for Licorice. Second completed item. Very tanky mythic to guarantee that he can frontline a little bit better against these two marksmen as he dives in.
Oh.
River and Licorice lead the charge. River goes in and the flash follow-up from Licorice. Ready to go. They found the kill to Bjergsen. River's at 100 HP and he's going to be killed. It's a wipe. But everybody on 100 Thieves has been cut to pieces. Tenacity stands. The rest will fall. And it's Golden Guardians shining bright for the 4-for-1.
Bjergsen had flash up. He couldn't get out of the combo because River, once you connect with that bio, the follow-up from GG was so strong. They removed the Tristana. Doublelift had no sums. He couldn't escape. He didn't cast ult. GG wiped the fight. Now they're very far ahead of this game.
Tenacity's just trying to clear mid while Golden Guardians clear Baron. Cubby, I look like a goof, man. I said they aren't going to get any Baron anytime soon for these squads, and Golden Guardians made a liar out of me by making a play like this.
Bjergsen has flash up. He's next to the wall. If you get to the stump, you can actually flash over this. He opts to not use it, and the chain CC. Licorice flashing forward. Huhi layering that on top. Tristana gets removed, then Doublelift has no sums from the previous fight, so Licorice is able to push forward with Stixxay. Tenacity late to the fight. GG had numbers, and man, that engaged from River and Huhi. Well, that made up for the white binding to the bot side, I'd say, because he just blew the game wide open.
Yep, we aren't going to remember the misses when you get the hits like that. Golden Guardians 4,500 gold lead. And what's that? 18 seconds till the third Drake comes up for them, and I think they're in a great spot to be able to force 100 Thieves to just stand back.
Yeah, 100 Thieves forced to play through bottom. The wave clear from Kate, Viktor, and the Baron buff going to be too strong, so if they want to contest this, they got to play through the bot lane. They will mark Licorice. We will see if they are able to wrap around it all. If Bjergsen finds anyone isolated, he still can do quite a bit of damage, but Licorice, he's sniffing.
Oh, I don't know if he wanted to take a sniff of that. Down to 1/3 HP. Bjergsen putting the bullets in him.
He doesn't have TP, so they're going to actually see the dragon. They're going to maybe push down mid. No, GG is still getting feisty. They still want this.
Rivers thinking about it. Vaultbreaker is charged, but Closer fires off the ulti. Yeah, that's just the power of Maokai.
Yeah, really well played by Bjergsen there again. 100 Thieves forced to play through bot. They found the answer. Licorice did not respect it. And Busio, Bjergsen syncing up, at least gets a chunk on Renekton. The turrets were going to fall anyway. So the fact that 100 Thieves denies soul point, I would say is a win for them.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best things you could possibly hope for in this situation. But Golden Guardians are now going to try to get the most value they can out of the last 80 seconds of this Baron. They've got total control over the top side jungle of their opponents. They got men they can rotate up there towards that tier 2 in the top side, and Licorice has already taken care of the wave.
Yeah, appreciate the toggle here. You can see how dark it is for 100 Thieves. The fact they just made the play around the dragon. So GG gonna follow up on Licorice's push. Should be able to chunk this turret out. Don't think 100 Thieves is gonna have any defense here.
Yep, you can see the demolish from Licorice, just putting in a little bit of extra damage as Stixxay can finish it off there with a Caitlyn auto, plus 6.2 thousand gold. Here for Golden Guardians, 23 minutes into the game. The Viktor has the Horizon Focus completed now. Not the most common item, I don't believe, on Viktor for second item, but hey, it's one that packs a hell of a punch.
I gotta say, there's no magic resist yet, really, on the side of 100 Thieves. If you're going to be playing at range and trying to damage Tristana Lucian, I guess I can kind of see the theory of that, as he takes a few steps back on this Viktor. So we'll see if Gori can use that to pilot. I think the scary thing, though, Stixxay, he's about to wrap up what I assume to be an RFC. And the siege from this Viktor Caitlyn, going to be really deadly for the side of 100 Thieves. They have those big ults to try and break it, but GG has a nice setup with Baron, and there's going to be nothing stopping this push.
9 seconds left on that Baron, so thankfully for 100 Thieves, the silver lining here is that is almost gone. That power point will no longer allow them to shove these waves up with such impunity, as Tenacity and the rest of 100 Thieves will clear out this remaining Baron wave. Closer eats a lot of damage on that one, though.
GG playing this out nicely, again, utilizing their gold lead and the range they have to force them off this turret. Baron might be dead, but the siege continues as Kate Viktor, ton of wave clear, ton of push. And Doublelift now finally rotating. He did pick up the red buff, was holding mid from Licorice, so now is when 100 Thieves could look, but Closer's already at half, so we'll see if GG just keeps up this map state.
Golden Guardians having their top laner over in mid doing the 4-1 split. Didn't want to overcommit to the tier 2 and get caught out by some of those long-range engages, so they haven't quite knocked down the turret here just yet. Doublelift clearing out the mid lane wave. As Closer summons up his ult, 100 Thieves are deciding this is maybe the chance to go in. Stixxay gets over the wall in time. River flashes to get away. Tenacity gets R2 only onto the enemy jungler who had already escaped. And now the counterattack comes in. Bjergsen's gonna be jumped on, but he gets away in time this time. And that means that 100 Thieves live to see another day.
But again, GG, they're fine with that trade, right? They got the flash out of Bjergsen. You can now follow up again the way that we saw them break the game open in the first place with that Vi ult onto this Tristana. So GG, I want to see if they're able to rinse and repeat. They still pick up the turret on the back half. Golden Guardians playing this game out really nicely. I really like how they're playing with this composition.
And the difference between Flash versus Rocket Jump for Bjergsen is so big here. Flash, it's instant. Rocket Jump, she has to do the animation where she places her gun in the ground and then shoots herself off with it. That means that you've got all of that extra time to get Renekton or Vi. Renekton, who has Flash, by the way, right on top of Bjergsen during the cast animation, blow him up. It's scary now.
And while she's in that cease and assist too, you cannot Buster Shot Vi out of it. That's a big deal for Trist, who is a very safe carry later in the game, but not against Vi. So again, that Flash even more valuable than it usually is for Tristana, given the Vi being in the game for Golden Guardians. And I want to see them try and punish that again as huhi. You know,
huhi, come on, man.
We're styling, dude.
We're trying to give you the credit back after the goofy play, and he had a Chad play, but now we got another goofy one. So we need another Chad play from huhi to make up for the stopwatch.
You know, we had the Neo revenge game last game. This is a huhi revenge game this time around. I think it's trying to style on.
Okay, okay. Just doing it for fun. You gotta make sure you do it on a ward.
It's about sending a message.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Another good shot.
That's quite the message with light binding. Doublelift being forced out. We do have Baron up in 30 seconds, and that map is rather dark for 100 Thieves. They have tanks that can help face check. They have a Maokai to take back control, but
they're gonna
already in favor. GG.
They're gonna need him. Tenacity loses 1,000 HP there with a quick chunk from the Licorice stun and the Stixxay follow-up. The map is dark and full of terrors, and Golden Guardians are ready to take advantage of that fear they can instill in 100 Thieves. It's only Tenacity that can face check. We saw how much damage Closer took during the tier 2 turret defense in the bottom lane. If he gets caught out by more than 2 dudes, he's pretty much dead. But remember, not only is Baron spawning, Dragon's spawning here in about 10 or 15 seconds, so this makes for an interesting dance between the two teams.
Yeah, 100 Thieves want to drag that dance up to Baron as they've been trying to fight to get vision back over their jungle. Now seeing GG on mid, we're going to have our team seesaw a bit with GG taking position towards that dragon, and actually it looks like it's being pulled by huhi. He's actually killing out a control ward to put that in the dark. So after this wave, we will see GG fade into that bot river, and we will see if 100 Thieves can find any sort of engage as Gori landing a nice amount of poke.
Oh, but 100 Thieves is ready to turn it around. It's Closer firing up. The ramp comes through over the top. Nice double bubble. Oh, the trouble. And it's Doublelift getting the kill on River as who he's going to be isolated by Bjergsen. 100 Thieves got one for nothing, and Golden Guardians have to scatter.
Good find. River wasn't able to cast that ult, right? You can't pressure the Tristana, so the fact that Tenacity was able to hit a 3-man call to Forge God after the Nature's Grasp actually gets 100 Thieves their first team fight win, and now they're going to use TP, get that health bar back.
Tenacity ends up getting paralyzed by the Snap Trap into the Gravity Well, but he's still fine. 100 Thieves have the man advantage. They'll take the Drake. They'll get Soul Point.
Yeah, and again, I like GG dropping it here. They are ahead in this game. The only way they could have contested that is if they, sent Licorice back, burned TPs to try and get back. They dropped the play. This will enable them to do something elsewhere. But the big key, the winning fights for GG have been started by River on this Vi. They see River charge up the Q. Once that goes down and Tenacity gets chunked, Closer says, all right, you know what? Nature's Grasp, we're going to fire it off, see what happens, and they catch River.
There it is, that last one of the tendrils from Nature's Grasp. The 2-man bubble on River and Licorice as well. Doing huge amounts of work there for Busio. But the Golden Guardians, who are deciding they're just rushing down the Baron. We could have a smite fight right here. Closer will not get it in time, but it's Stixxay who got the kill credit.
And that's part of why I like GG dropping that dragon. That opens up a play like that, so they get the better objective out of the two in the back half. So even when GG, they stumble a little bit, they still come up with a response that's best for this game.
Golden Guardians wearing purple for the second time in their last game of the first round robin against a team that they are unexpectedly tied with in the standings. I'm loving what we're getting here so far. 29 minutes into the game. We've got 2.5 minutes on Baron. Golden Guardians needs to get some results out of this. They are at the part of the game where you typically need Baron to progress past, where you have to break through the tier 3 inhibitor turret line, and I want to see how they go about it. Last time they had this, it was Licorice the one split off, everybody else grouped up as 4.
I think it's still going to be much of the same. And again, the siege, the push from GG, that's what you want to do with Viktor, Kate, Lux as your core. We will see if 100 Thieves can break it. We saw them break GG for the first time in that last team fight. But again, Golden Guardians picking up this Baron. The siege continues, and 100 Thieves, they're going to have to try and find an angle for that. So far, GG have a decent setup to defend.
Golden Guardians grouping everybody together this time around.
Yep.
River ends up eating one of the unenchanted saplings, means it doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. Unfortunately for Closer and 100 Thieves, there's no brushes next to the base.
I do really like how GG are set up in a side lane, because 100 Thieves, they want to find angles, they want to use their big ults to flank. This only gives them one way to flank, and River's just standing bodyguard. So GG, okay, here we go.
There it is. Nami ult is going to find Licorice, nobody else. Licorice is very tanky, remember. He has the Jack show into the Randuins, so they can't just focus fire him down very easily. It's not Bruiser Renekton, it's Tank Renekton with a cleaver. And so that means the Golden Guardians won't lose any men, but they do have to fall back a little bit here. Stixxay going to try to lifesteal up a little bit off of the Gromp. Doesn't have lifesteal items, really. It's mostly just the whatever he has in Rune's Masteries.
Still, this game, honestly, 7k gold lead, but these ornaments are starting to come in too for 100 Thieves. I mean, that's a little bit of gold that's hidden on the scoreboard. And 100 Thieves, they went out on the health bar there. Licorice had the TP back to continue the siege with Baron. We'll see if they can take down this inhibitor turret.
And Stixxay's got the damage. They used all 3 of those major engage ultimates on the side of 100 Thieves in their last attempt. With those tanks empty, it means the Golden Guardians have the confidence to take out that inhibitor bottom lane.
I had GG playing this well, right? They traded out all those ultimates for a TP on Licorice. That gets them the turret. That was their goal in the first place. Aren't able to stick around for anything more, but still, damage done. I think that bot inhibitor, very valuable when Baron's back up. The good thing for 100 Thieves is that the next big objective they're going to be worried about is that dragon.
Yes.
And that's going to be very important for them because they are now on Soul Point, and Hextech Soul could change the game in favor of 100 Thieves.
Yeah, if they can secure that,
that's a big one.
The gold value of Hex Soul, which is still pretty much universally considered to be the best soul in the game, plus the ornaments that you mentioned earlier, makes up for this 7.5k difference.
I mean, you have the range of the culling too. It's easier to follow up and apply the damage. You have a level 17 Tristana that scales, you know, with doubles, gets more range, so that could really change the game in favor of 100 Thieves. Is gonna throw out an optimistic nature's grasp.
Ooh, Bjergsen just dives right on in. They're looking for Licorice. Closer loses half HP here as well.
Stixxay.
A lot of damage down onto the jungler. Bjergsen blocking the ace in the hole. Closer sidestepping the laser. 100 Thieves have control over the bottom side river, but there ain't a dragon there for the next 60 seconds. And it's Golden Guardians pushing up mid.
Like that response from GG, it forces 100 Thieves to base, relinquish control over the bot side, and GG can retake it now.
Thieves still just getting themselves right on back. No big deal.
Yep.
And right as you said it, yeah, they just walk it right on back down into the bottom side river. The Scuttle Crab was secured by 100, so they will have that unremovable vision that'll last through the Drake spawn here in about 35 seconds. Huhi going back to purchase now, I'm assuming for more control wards for the upcoming fight. 122 vision score on Lux. So that's a pretty impressive number considering that his counterpart, the second highest in the game by a mile, is 40 below him. Very nicely done.
And that's going to come into importance here for the side of GG as 100 Thieves again, because there are supers on the bot side. They're just giving control mid. They know they can't compete with the push of the Viktor case. So they're going to try and play through bot again and set up some flanks. But River, he's actually snuck into this brush. He is not spotted. He's going to have to wait for the wave to cross. But after this wave crosses, he could go.
There they go. Oh! The ball breaker onto Bjergsen. And they just rip his face off. Gori grabs the kill as Licorice keeps everybody else zoned away. Tenacity dies here on the front line with a double kill back over to the Viktor. It's a golden croc, and that's going to be what the trophy looks like for the Golden Guardians. Busio and Doublelift head running back into the base, but a TP in mid lane means Gori's looking for the end.
River made this game work. The finds on Bjergsen's Tristana have been what has changed the game for Golden Guardians, as the first time it led to the Baron and all the turrets falling, and the second time might lead to the game.
Golden Guardians looking for Nexus here. Huhi and Stixxay coming up through bottom lane. Everybody else forcing mid. Inhibitor's going to be dropped.
Ooh, I don't know. This is
Gori
close.
leading the way. 15 seconds.
This is close.
15 seconds on Bjergsen closer. We've got first Nexus turret going down. Doublelift and Busio trying to defend. Licorice going to be taken close to zero. He ain't dead yet. Gori's looking to keep Doublelift. They kill him. The Chaos Storm got him. Busio and Closer trying to defend. It won't work. It won't happen. They're going to drop him here. The Golden Guardians take down 100 Thieves.
A 5-game win streak. And what the community thinks their strongest win so far against 100 Thieves to wrap up that first round robin. What a story from GG. As them and TSM, everyone had these two teams at the bottom of the standings. And guess what? After the first round robin, they're right smack dab in the middle.
5-4. They fought 100 Thieves on open ground, and they beat them. River finding Bjergsen. He doesn't even have to open up with the ulti. He just Q flashes him, takes him down. Beautiful. Huhi having to follow up on most of his binding in that game was beautiful. The damage coming in from the carries like it needed to be done. Licorice realizing that his job this game is not to be, oh, I'm Bruiser Renekton from solo queue, I'm gonna hurt you, bud. His job is to build tank and not be dead, and he did it great.
Yeah, I mean, he's 4-0 on the Renekton now for a reason. And also, I mean, I gotta say, River, think back to that level 1. That was such a tough start to the game for River. He was forced off his red, his Raptors. The fact that he was able to help bot lane recover and then make the plays that he did in the mid game, that was not easy task for River, but he was up to it in this game. It was a big part of the reason that we now have GG at 5-4.
We came into this game saying, I really hope we get a good one. I hope we get a banger for the last game of the first half of the split. And I would say that delivered in exactly the way that you would expect a banger game to deliver.
I'm just so impressed with Riverman and GG. I mean, these guys are playing with a chip on their shoulders, you know, an arrow referencing the, you know, FU video.
Yeah.
It really feels like, you know, they're embracing that along with TSM and some of the, you know, orgs that haven't been towards the top of our standings in a while. They're making things real interesting here early in spring.
And I love that. Inero, I don't even mind that you sent me that video now in the DMs, because honestly, that was a Q kind of game from Golden Guardians, just saying, hey, we can actually win these, man. We can play these games against these guys and meet them head to head. Let's take a look back at how that game ended one more time.
And River snuck in. This is how they won the first fight. It was getting rid of the Tristana. Again, Trist is such a safe champion, but not against Vi. The rocket jump doesn't help you here. The buster shot doesn't help you here. The Q flash from River, I mean, Bjergsen dies when he lands. It's great follow-up from GG. I love the full commitment from them. And this fight, because of the engage, the setup from River and Golden Guardians, it was over before it started.
And then Licorice just being able to zone everybody else away. Doublelift thought he might be able to get him with the culling. The stopwatch keeps him close long enough for Golden Guardians to chase them down, force them back. Obviously, Doublelift and Busio make it back to the Nexus, and I love the fact that you were pointing out it's close because it was. This is one of those games that we've seen it happen before where a team stays for Nexus and it goes south. But Golden Guardians made the call, they followed the call, and they got the dub.
I mean, this team, it's one that people are going to have to put some respect on. The way that Stixxay and huhi are playing, again, they got behind in that bot lane, but River got them back in. They carried that game through, and ever since Gori's been here, this team's now 5-2. I mean, you got to really think about Golden Guardians. I was talking to someone backstage that said, we think that Golden Guardians could be a top 3 team moving forward. I don't think anyone would have had that on their bingo card to start off the split, but we're here. They're 5-4. They're playing great, and someone's got to slow them down.
Yeah, they're 5-2 with Gori, with the 2 being the first 2 games they had with Gori when he arrived and was jet lagged. So honestly, really impressive stuff from Golden Guardians to close out the first round robin here. And while we set up our final interview with Licorice and QTCinderella, we're closing out Super Week and the Lunar Revel with a short performance from the ACA Lion Dancers of UCLA. Take it away. That was awesome, man. That was badass.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, that was
More
super cool.
surprises.
And reminder to everybody here today, fans in attendance can enjoy more of the Lion Dancers and other festivities at the Lunar Revel after party starting soon here at the LCS studio. But right now, while we're still waiting on that final interview of the day here, let's go ahead and take a look at the standings as they are at the end of the first half of Spring Split play.
I mean, we've been talking about it up here, the fact that Golden Guardians and TSM are at the top half of our standings. Big surprise that no one had on their cards in spring. And of course, with those teams being further up, 100 Thieves and TL being on the bottom half. Again, these are two orgs that have competed for championships. 100 Thieves making, 3 straight finals? They're now going to have to bounce back in the second round robin. We'll see what they can do.
FlyQuest still stands out as the
they're pretty
top
good.
contender. They're
pretty good.
absolutely still the team to beat. They had a little bit of an XD game against TSM that I think caught everybody off guard. You know they're going to be trying to prevent that here in the second round robin. Cloud9 and Evil Genius is hot on their heels, only one game behind FlyQuest leading the pack.
I know that for FlyQuest too, we'll see if Awa gets in rather soon. I think he's going to be coming in. And, if you would have told me last year that Prince would have been this good after, being able to sit on the LCK analyst desk, I would have said no surprises. He is elite, and it's pretty wild that he's playing in NA. So as long as he's there on FlyQuest, it's going to be tough to beat.
With the standings wrapped up, with the first round robin wrapped up, and with Super Week just about wrapped up, Cubby, congratulations on your first LCS cast. And now let's send things back over to QTCinderella and Licorice to decorate some cakes.
We're here. I was totally expecting Golden Guardians to win that. Anyway,
Ouch.
I think there might be a curse. I think every time I show up to a game, either Bjergsen is avoiding me or I don't know. But you played great. You played great. It was totally earned. You guys are on a 5-game win streak.
Yep.
How does that feel?
Feels pretty good.
What caused that?
Well, Gori showed up, so that's been a big part of it. And then also, I think it's like it was good that we lost a lot in like it helped us improve on all our mistakes.
Oh, really?
Because like when you lose, losing sucks.
Okay.
You know.
I never lose.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, for those of us that do lose, losing sucks. So let's just give that out as a little PSA. So it's like when you lose 0-4, you really don't want to go 0-5, 0-6. So we were all working really hard, and then Gori was in, and I don't know, everything's just gelling.
Massive. Yeah, it's doing great. Well, we're going to teach you how to decorate a quick cake today while we chat. We're going to be making panda tibbers, which is fun. And you have lots of experience?
Oh, yeah. I'm, no.
No, okay. No. Have you ever worked with food at all?
I can do breakfast.
Okay, perfect.
I got scrambled eggs, I got French toast, I got pancakes, and that is it.
You're done.
Yeah,
it's the same. We're halfway there.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Well, just follow along. While I do this, and you're gonna do the same thing, and they're gonna look the same.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna ask you some questions as we go, okay?
All right.
So first thing, we're just gonna start with the black. We're just gonna start with the ears.
The ears.
So you're just gonna kind of make some mounds right here. Now that Golden Guardians is unstoppable, is there a team you are afraid of?
I think C9 looks the best, from what I can tell. So I'm excited to
don't tell them that.
To play against them the most. I actually think that, I think C9 looks the best, so.
Perfect, you're gonna go down and make little eye patches.
Okay.
Okay.
I should be, got some icing.
It's okay, you're doing great.
Yeah, thank you.
Just keep going.
Okay.
Well, you tier listed the analysts recently. Curious, where would you put me on that tier list? Wondering.
Well, you're wearing 100 Thieves hoodie. You thought they were gonna win.
No, I didn't.
Ripped up a little script, so it's not looking too great.
Right.
I think I'd put you a little bit above Raz.
Not bad. I heard Raz is one of the best. People like him. So I'll take that.
What am I doing here?
You're gonna make eyeballs and a nose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and yours, it's looking really good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm a bit of a natural.
You are. I think it's great.
There's my nose.
Last time I didn't help speak at all, and I was told I was mean, so I'm not gonna help you. But I will comment on how badly you are doing, which is not bad.
Not bad?
No.
Wow.
We're gonna add the yellow eyes now, because Panda Tibbers has the yellow eyes, and they're kind of menacing looking.
God.
We're gonna just add those. You're doing great. I'd like to remind you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're doing really good.
Love the positive reinforcement.
So, if you weren't in the LCS, you know, if you had a 9-to-5 job, would you be a cake decorator, or what do you think you'd do?
You know, I never thought about cake decorating before, but I'm just having so much fun right now. So I think that might be it. I honestly, I haven't thought about it too much. Like, it's something.
You're not worried about it. You're like, I'm just too good.
It's something you think about as a pro, especially in the off season of like, what would I do otherwise? But I don't know, like, my answer has changed so much over the years that like at this point I'm like, man, like when I retire, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna add the stitches. So you're just gonna go right down the middle with a line.
Okay.
And then you're gonna take this sideways and just add the little stitches through, because you know, Tibbers is bursting at the seams. Who do you currently admire the most in the LCS?
River.
Oh, why's that?
He's really good.
Okay, cool, yeah. Great, good answer.
Yeah.
I also think he's good.
Thank you.
I've heard some things about huhi and how he's gotten meaner after leaving 100 Thieves.
Okay, well,
I've just heard it.
It's something that comes up a lot. I didn't know him before, but I can confirm
so now he's just
that
mean.
he's a little bit mean, you know, just a little bit. And I know he used to be known as a nice guy, so like I'm sure like somewhere along the line something happened. Not pointing any fingers at 100 Thieves or anything, but.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah.
These are looking really good. I can't tell if we have enough space for the mouth, but I'm gonna try.
Oh.
Or let's just add like a nice red border, because then it kind of matches the
Oh,
best.
just like a little trim on the bottom?
Yeah. And
Okay, I like that.
You'll just kind of pulsate. So you'll pull, you'll hold it, and then you'll pull. So then you get a nice, like, dots, if that makes sense. I'm a really good instructor.
I can tell.
I saw the FU content piece. Was that directed at like everybody? You think like, because I feel like I didn't deserve that. I've never really been mean to Golden Guardians.
Yeah, I think it was
I've
everyone
always
but you. I think
rooted them on,
They
yeah.
actually forgot to put that disclaimer in the video, but it was
God.
everyone but you.
Have you gotten any, did your family see that?
You know, I don't actually know. I didn't hear anything about it, so I'm assuming not. So I think it's for the best.
I actually as being one of the best tops.
Was that directed at me? Whoa!
That was directed at my friend Austin. I'm so sorry.
Your friend Austin.
Top laners in the LCS. What advice would you give to a low elo top laner that you think would change their game? I'm so sorry.
Okay, I mean, if
Kappa Pride.
it's fine. I mean, the big thing that you have to understand about top lane, especially in solo queue, is that jungle's OP.
Really?
So if you want to climb, all you have to do is not die to the enemy jungler. That's it.
Oh, okay,
If
forehead.
you don't die to the enemy jungler, you will win most of your games. That's it.
You actually did so good on the bottom.
Hey, what? I know it.
It's so good. Okay. Well, turn it around.
Okay.
Show it to the family.
Oh, God.
There's our cute little Tibbers.
Okay.
Wow.
There we go.
Yours is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you wish more people knew about you?
I don't.
What? What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I'm like, I enjoy being more of a private person. Even though I'm like a pro player and everything, I like having like my pro play life and then, you know, my private life, so.
All right, well, this was a lovely time with Licorice. Congrats again on your win.
Thank you.
We're gonna send it to Emily and the rest of the lounge to wrap up the day. Thanks for having me.
That was amazing. What I've learned is that Licorice does not want to learn us to learn more about him.
now we have to investigate to make him.
Keep the cameras away.
More prying questions. And also, toxic huhi narrative.
Continuing.
It's on the rise.
Yes.
We need some behind-the-scenes footage next week.
All right, let's pull up our Samsung SSD Fast 5 for this week as we close it out. Top 100 CS, Fudge up there, Solo up there, actually surpassing Summit.
on tanks mostly, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the Cho'Gath game, I think it was Scion.
Cassante today.
And a Cassante game.
Yeah.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, for someone who plays tanks all the time, people don't think of Solo as a good laner, but at least back in the day when he was the Renekton enjoyer, he'd actually always be really strong in lane. It's like part of why junglers want to gank him so much is he's actually applying pressure. So he's been solid, and that's a big part of why TSM won.
Yeah. One thing that comes to mind, of course, item transformation, huhi. Great week overall. I mean, the Lux game was okay, but like, just generally speaking, throughout the week, it felt like the bot lane from Golden Guardians have been a huge boon. Why the success has been really coming from their team has been bot lane succeeding in lane. Team fights have been pretty straightforward with how I feel like River has been playing as well. So it's just nice to see like a strong level of consistency from this team.
Yep, and a reminder that Samsung has partnered with Sleeper and Fantasy LCS, and you can now earn bonus points for each week for correctly predicting the fastest performers. So congrats to those of you who are able to do that this week. Probably a lot of top bot laners in there, because I feel like we've talked about this because we did the AD carry power rankings, but the league is stratified with, is your bot lane doing well or not?
Yeah, well, I was also just going to say, like, for people who are fans of 100 Thieves, at least they got some points from the fantasy app because they went 0-3. So at least Doublelift was on top and Bjergsen was number 2.
And I will say, at least you got one thing correct in your prediction. Was there a second game that you got correct?
No, I think you're right. This was the first like upset I predicted. But to be fair, is it even an upset when one's 5-4 and one's 4-5? I don't think it's not even an upset.
Yeah, the better team won.
Yeah, what do you?
You
just like you should have predicted them 3-0.
My bad.
You could be so much higher on their power ranking. Like you would be S tier if you actually just said the 3-0 bit.
If you hadn't stepped in and said this team is not going to 3-0, but
I thought
they're
they were
going to
2-1.
rise in the standings.
Yeah, I thought they'd be 2-1, and I thought this would be the only loss, and I was like, no, I should have gone farther.
Yeah.
Insane.
Are they your biggest surprise of the
Golden Guardians?
We're
Absolutely.
Up round robin, yeah.
I think Golden Guardians would be my biggest surprise. Like I expected this team. I mean, we already went through our tier list like from the beginning of the split. We expected them to be, I think it was 7th.
Yeah, around that.
Like pretty consistently around there. And now they are a team that's consistently,
Literally everyone had them 8th.
There it is.
Yeah.
Guardians, yeah.
You're right. So 8th would be something that we expected. But once Gori came in, it felt like they're, the 3 strongest players for me consistently was huhi, River, and Gori. Stixxay had a huge performance throughout this week.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like overall, it feels like the one thing I didn't expect to call them out for is their consistency. Their team fights have been something that has been a huge positive for them, and their bot lane has been consistently winning out. And so I'm like, okay, wait a minute. That's not something I would naturally expect. So going into next week, it's nice to watch out for.
Yeah, I think the thing that surprised me the most is their communication and coordination. Because obviously, they had the 0-4 start. Even in that, their early games were surprisingly well coordinated and thoughtful. So it was just kind of like, okay, you get past the mid game and figure that out. And even in this game, when they did overextend, you could see them kind of reel it back and reapproach.
I think for me, the biggest takeaway from this weekend is just how wrong all preseason expectations kind of were. There's a couple things that are true, like, okay, obviously, FlyQuest is amazing. EG and C9 are in that kind of conversation, which people expected. But 100 Thieves and TL plummeted out of there.
Yeah.
Dignitas, way worse than people expected.
Yeah.
So TL, Immortals is around where people expected. CLG around where people expected. But, like, TSM way higher than expected.
Yep.
Like, I think this is maybe I haven't checked this, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was like the most wrong my power rankings have been after one round robin.
First round robin,
Through the first round. And to be fair, some of my predictions were more like, I think TL will end up 4th. When I said that, I didn't think they would be a super hot team, but like this is worse than I thought. So like I'm still willing to be like, yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah, so based off of the aggregate of the preseason power rankings from the analysts on the broadcast, Dig was ranked as a playoff team. They were 6th.
Yeah.
TL was ranked as a playoff team, and 100 Thieves was ranked as a playoff team. But currently, Dig is 10th, TL is 8th, and 100 Thieves is in a tie for 6th, 7th. So COG could, in theory, win the next one and be in. And I don't think we've ever had, to your point, Mark, 3 pre-ranked playoff teams fall outside the playoffs. But I also want to stray a little bit here. Like, after a single round robin, it's really difficult to not be a prisoner of the moment.
Yeah.
Anything that has happened, you just assume is going to happen again. So what I've just been thinking about is which one of these is least likely to repeat? because we've done one cycle.
Yeah.
And now we're going to be running another cycle. So TSM at 5-4 is the biggest delta from expectations. I had them 10th. They are actually tied for 4th. Golden Guardians was yours, Raz. Team Liquid is one for me that's in the inverse direction because I had them 3rd and they fell all the way to 8th. But yeah, I don't want to just keep talking. I want to get your thoughts.
Yeah,
first.
so for me, Team Liquid is one where like I can see why they got so much hype in scrims. So many of their games, they get huge leads. EG this weekend, C9 this weekend. Those are games in scrims where you mental collapse and you go, okay, go next. You don't do that on stage.
And they're also the exception that like disproves the rule. Bot lanes that succeed, their bot lane is winning like every lane.
They get 2v2 kills all the time.
That doesn't transition to victory.
But my point with them is like, I can see a world where their mid game somewhat fixes because a lot of the bright spots are still there, like their bot lane and stuff like that. Their early games are great. And it seems like they are one of these scrim teams, which like you get those leads in scrims and people don't care. You go on stage and they are just a mess. And that is hard to fix. It is hard being a mess like that in scrims because you're like, great, let's practice closing out with 5K gold leads. And then the enemy team surrenders. And you're like, okay, so we didn't practice our problems.
And I think I rated Team Liquid preseason the lowest. I had them as 5th.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was based off of not questions on Summit. I thought Summit would still come out firing. I thought he would be as like much better than what he's showcased. So like that's obviously the point of criticism a lot of people have is transferring a lot of his laning phase like strengths to team fights. But yeah, that's been one thing. I expected Jan to not come out firing, and he has as well. It's more so mid-jungle. I thought mid-jungle would be a little bit of a problem in terms of like being on the same page. But that hasn't been probably the biggest issue with the team. Like that's been actually a minor thing for why they're losing. It's more so being on the same page, which I thought would never be an issue.
Fighting.
Yeah. Being on the same page.
Like the Pioshik flank for the entire end of the game?
He's still flanking.
Yeah, one day someone's going to check that brush.
He's still there.
But that kind of goes to the point about like them speaking the same language is not going to cover for them not being on the same page.
Yeah.
It's just a gameplay thing, just how they want to, essentially how they see a team fight or what we saw when they're going up against evil geniuses, like basically how slow they should be playing. These are just things that they should learn regardless of like a quote unquote language barrier that's not there.
Yeah.
So I underestimated that one for sure.
So are we tagging TL as the team we think will be able to reverse? Because Jat's question was, who do you think will be able to reverse their first
least likely
split?
to repeat?
Yeah.
So it's like, right now you're saying, oh yeah, FlyQuest will be 16-2, C9 14-4.
Yeah.
What's the
one I think is the least likely to repeat is maybe TSM because
Hater.
It's coming off as that. It's mostly just based off of the way they play the game. It's a really straightforward front-to-back identity, and I think it's going to be difficult, A, if the meta changes, and B, if teams just kind of try and play around that. Being I wouldn't say one trick, but like having one preferred playstyle from the start of the split to the end, it doesn't usually work out in the final few weeks when teams have really ironed out their problems, are a little bit more diverse, and can, like, for instance, 100 Thieves, Team Liquid, are the two teams that are below them that I expect to overtake.
Okay.
My answer is Dignitas. Like, they're not. They're not 0-18.
You don't think they're 0-18?
Come.
It's happened before. Coast.
They were 117.
1-17?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
It's actually so hard to go winless
18?
or completely undefeated.
But you say
They're clearly not.
They can go 2-7 like Immortals, and they're not going to rise in the standings. Is that really reversing?
Yeah.
Well, it's at least likely to repeat, but I guess it's like the difference. I can easily see them winning like 3 games.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to remain winless.
Which like a 3-game change is bigger than a lot of these teams. Like a 3-game change would require TSM to go like 2-7.
Yeah.
Or FlyQuest to go like 5-4 or something, right? So like I actually think there's a lot of room for them to have like a 3 or 4 game change. They might make a roster change, right? 09 is a total disaster. I'm really curious to see how they respond after the first round robin being done, and if they just like continue to run it up. What are you laughing at?
Nothing. There's nothing going on. You're doing great. It's not related to you.
Okay. You just have thought.
Moving on.
The man's brain was working.
You can watch this segment back. You'll see it.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. Thing you're most excited to see for the next round robin, Mark, would you like
I'll
to
go first. Sven versus Jan. Round 2, baby. The drama is already blown over. It's not a big deal. It's just like you get heated in the moment when you're playing. Everyone, it's like a solo queue moment. Like someone types some stuff at you, you type back, and you go, and then you get food and who cares anymore.
Roar.
It's not like a big deal, but it does. It's something we're going to bring up because we love drama and we're going to lean into it. And I just can't wait to make them do it again.
I just want more violence. Just more.
You have always been calling for more violence.
The moment Portillo said it, I was like, I agree with you, man. we need more spice. This was good spice. I don't think an apology was needed. Maybe the no handshake thing. I didn't see that one.
I mean,
I didn't see the no handshake thing, but
even I was seeing like after my quote retweets and stuff, people were like hard flaming them. So like it's just really ridiculous stuff. Like, oh, you have a bad mental. You have a glass jaw. This is why you can't win internet. Like, I assume they're seeing that stuff in their DMs, and that's probably what makes them want to tweet something out to try and get it to chill, which is annoying because I agree. It's a big nothing burger. It's like, yeah, two guys like had some words and they like it's
It's the same people that want banter. That when they see banter or just anything that's actually just like a disagreement that's fun and that's entertainment, they're like, actually, this one's an exception. It's like, what?
He took it too far. Can you believe it? He glared at him. Yeah, so really quick what happened is they said stuff to each other in game. Someone took a shot at Harry, which Jan then took a shot at just C9 in general. He said, your academy team is better.
Yeah.
Then Sven beat them. So Sven then said, go back to Academy, and then he was still heated and had just, quote, put Jan in his place and just stiffs him completely on the handshake.
I missed that!
It was...
I hadn't seen the movement. I'd seen the freeze frame, but I hadn't seen it in action.
But then, immediately after, he sends out a tweet completely explaining what happened.
Yes.
Like, they said this, they said that. Also, I was heated in the moment. GG to Jan. And then Jan says no apology necessary. Like, they're cool. They're fine.
Because it's not a big deal.
It's fun for us.
I do wish it was a big deal. I
What?
want more.
You want people to actually hate each other.
I want a little bit.
Well, I don't want it to be a big deal so people can feel like they can do that.
I don't want it to be a big deal for them getting flamed from the community.
Yeah.
But I'd love it if it was just like I'm Team Jan, I'm Team Sven. Let's see them go at it again.
Yes.
But we just can't have that in this day and age.
Probably the funniest thing about rewatching that is just the camera shot perfectly looking at Sven, looking at Jan like,
he is mean mugging him. He's like
rocking away. More of that.
I wonder what Jan's face was like. He's probably just like, what?
That's
I totally forgot about it.
Like,
the cameraman's doing an amazing job out there.
Yeah. Anyone else with any big... I mean, I'm looking forward to see. So I'll say, I'm looking forward to seeing Golden Guardians now face the top half of the standings. Kind of, we talked about this when we talked to both Licorice and Huhi when we had them on the desk. But Jat asked them, is it better that you faced all these big teams? And they're just like, no, not at all. So I am curious to see how they do against like our top half of the table now that they have to face them again with their full roster and being on this win streak, which is, producers told me, the longest win streak in Golden Guardians history.
Huge.
That's what I was going to bump in with. And I was, in the back of my head, terrified that someone had already said it and it was spaced out. So I'm glad
now
that you
I said it.
Because I wanted the stat to be out in the ether. 5 games, it's a decent win streak?
It's a good
I didn't
win
want to.
streak.
Okay, so you're taking the angle I thought, but I like Bambied it. If you don't have anything nice to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I didn't say it, but they've been in the league since 2018, a 5-game win streak.
Wasn't it before? Was it just the start of franchising?
They were franchise era. I think they were 2018. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think they were franchise era. But yeah, I mean, you said it,
18,
not me.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
You're a hater.
6. I'm a hater?
You brought it up.
I wanted to say they were going to go 3-0 this week, for the record.
Well, you didn't.
So
I didn't.
in his head, he said 3-0 before Raz kind of stole
did the 2-1, and then I was like, why don't you say 3-0? Because I wanted someone to say it, and I just backed off on it. We should be happy for him. It's 5-0. We'll see how long they can extend it. It's the longest winning streak in their history. It's the longest winning streak currently in the LCS. And, I mean, damn.
They look good, too.
Yeah.
They're, legitimately good.
A legitimate... just a snap, you're snapping your neck back, where it's like 0-4 to start, and so people are expecting the same thing, into 5-0. So,
I will
bad for your neck.
My neck.
But yeah, that's definitely something to look forward to. There's another team to look forward to. I already kind of put out TSM on the thing that I don't expect, but I still am looking forward to watching their game, so I'll put them there as well, because like that is something that is really important to look for in terms of like what your set goals are coming into the split.
Yeah.
And whether you keep on that train going forward. Because if they just become the team fighting team that goes towards player comfort, continue to put Lucian on Neo, and the Talia on Maple and just say, this is what we're comfortable doing. Solo on tank, straight front to back team fighting. This is what the players are strong at. And we're succeeding for that from start to end.
Run it back.
Keep it going. Like this is actually a really important takeaway for an organization to keep the same core players, play to their comfort, and like not really move from that.
Well, it should come as no surprise with their current win streak that your MasterCard Player of the Week is Stixxay.
Hey!
Oh, wow, he did not die once this week. I actually did not know that.
The unkillable.
23, 0, and 10. That's also a crazy ratio of kills to assists.
Yes.
Yeah, he got fed in these games, and he did work with them. I think there's been a number of people, we were checking these stats about 80 carries who have like good score lines, but their DPMs are like kind of like mid. He's above, 700 on a lot of them and 600 in this Caitlyn game.
Yeah, just watching, if you were to look at, use your eye test in a lot of these games, he is doing really well in team fights, stepping forward and playing more aggressively where people didn't expect to see that. His Kalista game where he was like, got a lead in bot lane, dove tier 2 turret, went mid lane actually, got a kill with huhi. They're active. They're playing pretty aggressively. This is not just like a KDA, win rate kind of thing happening here. Like, they're just playing well, and he had the best week I've seen from him in the LCS in a long time.
Dude. Yeah, I mean,
it's hard.
COG 2016-ish days, you think about it.
That's what I was gonna say. Actually, it's kind of bonkers seeing it's a redemption story for him, right?
It is.
Because like I remember interviewing him on stage last year, and it felt like he was really overwhelmed and like proud to be able to be back on stage because he was down in Academy. He was actually crushing it in Academy when he was there, and then got bumped up. But yeah, congratulations, Stixxay. We'll take a quick look at next week's schedule for LCS.
Also, he has a Player of the Week statue and Doublelift doesn't. So,
oh my God.
No,
He's bringing it back up.
We're back on.
Bringing it back up.
We're back on that.
Old history right there.
So we're going back to Thursday, Friday next week with FlyQuest 100 Thieves off the top. TL Honda versus Immortals Progressive. Kind of like a weird car battle there, actually. Cloud9 versus Golden Guardians. A banger. Put that on your schedule. Yeah. CLG versus TSM, and then EG versus Dignitas to round it out. LEC starts tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. Salt League NACL starts tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. It is always a good time, by the way. Salt League has some crazy picks in there.
Oh, thank you!
the cake again!
Hey!
That's cuties, right?
That's
that is a nice.
cuties,
So Cutie said something about cake that like she doesn't really think you can get sick from cake.
Oh,
you absolutely can get sick from cake.
Well, just like it can be really old and it's still fine. So I don't know about the ingredients.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like eating too much of it as a kid and then puking.
Yeah,
I definitely did that.
The cake we gave to Speaker earlier, she said it was fine.
Is it good?
This is good.
I'm not gonna eat this.
This is a fresh one.
Touch that. No, that's in your hands.
Okay.
Give it to Emily.
It's like when you make the mistake of accepting something you don't want.
Face it to the camera, guys.
We're in pursuit, but Prince flashing away now. Winston putting his body between himself and the rest. And Tom Kench, dangerous burn on him. First blood to Luger. Contracts marked down low, but it's Dokla that's the first to fall in this exchange. A stun up onto Impact, gets punished in the process. Contracts, no flash as it was previously used. FlyQuest wants to get Palafox after he flashes over the wall. Manages to get some slams on him. Double kill for Viktor.
But I already got player of the game on Sejuani and Maokai, so I just proved that anything is possible.
Damn. You have to thank me. If I didn't run it down, I would have got it. So
you know that
The rest of the team is here to try and punish, but it's a 1-for-1 trade so far. FBI getting himself the heck out of there, expelling all of his summoners before he can more damage. What a good swing from Revenge, but the crocodile goes down, and ult for ult. The root onto Fleshy again, trying to knock up in response, and Revenge, how much can he pull from EG right now? Jojo has to get out of it with the flash and more. FBI setting his sights onto a Blazol who eventually pops.
How do you prevent yourself from tilting when you're playing with an ADC who might not be doing what you want them to do?
That's a secret. You don't prevent that.
Really? You just get tilted.
You just get tilted, yeah.
Talk to more Berserker.
Jungle diff.
Again?
You know, push it. So good luck.
World champ?
Enemy jungle, world champ. Our jungle, not world champ. GG.
One into dangerous territories. Hill has the ultimate to pop up when needed, but the stun. Jan goes in for it. Fudge goes back. Bjergsen up into the air, and down he goes to shut down for a berserker. Kill onto Jan. Cloud9 trying to turn this summit, finally getting eliminated into his dead state.
It might be game losing if they get this Baron. Bjergsen wants to have a steal. He can't get out.
Oh my God.
Blabber secures the Baron for Cloud9.
How do you stay so humble?
I'm not humble at all. that was, you're really trying to get me
I know.
Santorin at 40% HP. Chime's bubble should guarantee his fate. Solo, meanwhile, has found the rest of the team. Ignar's gonna be your target now as Boogie goes forward, secures the stun. Maple's got the shove. Solo's still at about 25% HP. They go in after Maple, but he buys time here with the Zonias. Neo's unstoppable. Spawn is dead. Dignitas back into the fountain. Neo's gonna keep him there. Maple's gonna keep him there. Solo doesn't care. He's back onto the Nexus. TSM don't give him a single kill. Licorice leaves the charge. River goes in and the flash follow-up from Licorice. No, they found the kill to Bjergsen. River's at 100 HP and he's gonna be killed. It's a wipe. But everybody on 100 Thieves has been cut to pieces. He ain't dead yet. Gori's looking to keep them. And they kill him. The Chaos Storm got him. Busio and Closer trying to defend. It won't work. It won't happen. They're gonna drop him here. The Golden Guardians take down 100 Thieves.